Losing weight is difficult, and as we get older, it becomes harder and harder. Our metabolism slows down and things in our body start to work a little differently. You might do all the right things, or at least you think you do. You eat healthy, you exercise, but you still can't lose weight. So in today's video, we will have a look at 12 not so obvious reasons why you can't lose weight no matter what you do. You have to understand that once we pass our mid-30s, our metabolism naturally slows down and our testosterone levels decrease. So the things that worked when we were in our 20s and early 30s don't work anymore. It's almost like a cutoff date. Once we turn 35, things go downhill. But it's not too late yet, so we just have to be a little smarter about the things we do and take a little different approach. You can't lose weight because you believe every food type. Every day we hear about a new diet that apparently is the ultimate solution for fat loss. A common problem is that many of us jump from diet to diet. We try something for a few weeks, and if we don't see immediate results, we start something else. The word diet actually comes from the Greek word dieta, which literally means way of life. And with that in mind, you have to understand that a temporary diet won't change anything. If you keep trying different diets but never stick to anything, you will never see results. And it's like with everything in life. Consistency is the key. You have to change your eating habits permanently. You have to realize that the way you eat is a problem in the first place. But the good news is that you don't have to cut anything out of your diet. Have you ever noticed that every diet has those food groups that are so terribly bad for you? While on the next diet, that's what it's all about. As an example, on the paleo diet, there are strictly no grains or legumes. But if you follow the Mediterranean diet, besides fish, they are the main source for proteins and fiber. And the Mediterranean diet is provenly one of the healthiest diets out there. So essentially, every diet has the same goal: to put you in a caloric deficit, and that's all they do, but they all do it in different ways. The problem with those restrictive diets is that they don't support our number one male hormone, which is testosterone. Low-fat diets even shrink testosterone levels, and low-carb diets increase cortisol, which is the biggest killer of testosterone. Low testosterone levels make it much harder to lose weight in the end anyway, so it also lowers your sex drive and it prevents you from building muscle in general. So, while you do want to find a diet that works for your lifestyle, you also want to make sure to eat more food that increases your testosterone levels, especially as you get older. Some great natural testosterone boosting foods are leafy greens and fatty fish and oysters, olive oil, ginger and pomegranate, and that's just to name a few. And another great way to boost your testosterone is intermittent fasting, which would be a whole different video. So we go further that into a different video. The best thing you can do is to create your own diet and become food wise. Take a couple of days and educate yourself about the things you want to eat and stop worrying about what everybody else is eating. Number 2 is that you're in your own head. You're probably overthinking things. Weight loss is not easy, but it is simple. It all starts in your head. You might think things like, I just have bad genes, a slow metabolism, and there's just nothing I can do about it. Or I exercise 3 days this week, so I deserve this slice of cake. Or you doubt yourself because you can't resist every time you're walking past your favorite donut shop. You have to stop labeling your food, and certainly you have to stop labeling yourself. There is no bad or good food. Of course there is healthy and unhealthy food, but to have an unhealthy food occasionally doesn't change the fact that you're an healthy person. You might not have the willpower yet you think you need, but no one really has. Willpower is temporary. You have to change your perspective. Life is there to be enjoyed, and if you starve a slice of cake, have it. Just not have it every day. And try to avoid having foods as a reward or as a punishment. If you had a bad day and you ate something crappy because you couldn't resist, don't beat yourself up about it. Just see it as it is, a bad day. It's nothing else. It's not a fail. It's not a reason to give up entirely. Alright, so number 3 is you go all in too early. And a very common problem with weight loss, especially in higher age, is that we make drastic changes to our lifestyle. We're so fed up with the situation that we want immediate results. From one day to the next, we stop eating entire food groups. From couch potato, we become gym junkies. That way, we're more than likely to burn out and probably going to get hurt along the way as well. In Australia, we say, don't work hard, work smart. And we can transfer that to weight loss as well. So instead of going all in, make small, deliberate changes. The smallest step in the right direction will eventually get you there. It's all about making lifestyle changes and not a quick fix. It took you years to get to the point, so you won't reverse it in just a few days. Start with making one change at a time. Depending on your current level, it might be enough to go for a 10-minute walk 3 times per week, or do 5-minute home workout every other day, and swap fried food for grilled or salads, or drink 1 soda less each day, or just have soda with food and water any other time of the day. Think about the small changes you can make and build up on that. Number 4 is you can't lose weight because you focus on the problem, not the solution. For some reason, we like to occupy ourselves with our problems rather than just start looking for a solution. You might not be as fortunate as your colleagues and you can't eat anything without putting on weight. Maybe you have bad genes and maybe you think it's your parents' fault. Maybe they don't fed you properly when you were a little child. But guess what? Once you understand that this is not the case, you can change your circumstances. At our age, we have to work a little harder to get the same outcomes. We might have to put in more effort than the young guns, but that doesn't mean that we can't achieve the same goal. Stop feeling sorry for yourself and take charge of your own life. Realizing that it's in your own hand to change your circumstances is a game changer. If something is not working, if you can't lose weight, no matter what you do, then ask yourself, am I really doing everything or am I just pretending? Or is there something else you could try? Maybe you take the wrong approach, or maybe you're overlooking something. How I mentioned earlier, testosterone levels have a big impact on your weight loss. Maybe that is something you can start with. Whenever you're facing a problem or something that needs to change, acknowledge the problem and just let it go. And once you start looking for solutions, you will come up with plenty of ideas. Open yourself up for it. Your brain loves to solve problems, so let it do its work. You will be surprised how effective that little mind shift can be. Number 5 is you haven't found your big why. Why do you want to lose weight? Why do you want to be healthy? Who are you doing that for? You have to ask yourself that question because once it's getting tough, you need something that helps you to push through it. It is an uncomfortable question. You have to search deep down inside you. If your reasons are like, because my doctor told me to, or I know that being overweight is unhealthy, that probably won't be enough. It should be more something like, I'm ashamed when I look in the mirror. I hate myself and I'm disgusted to see myself naked. Or my father died on a heart attack at a young age because he never cared about his health. And I want to avoid the same destiny. Or I want to be active with my kids or grandkids. I want to be a good example of how to live a healthy lifestyle. I want to see them growing up and getting married. There are some serious reasons. They are uncomfortable, but you have to give yourself a wake-up call before it's too late. Look in the mirror so close that you can see your blood vessels in your eyes. Stare at yourself. What do you see? What do you want to see? The eyes are the reflection of your soul. To do that can be an incredible intimate moment with yourself. Many of us won't even have the courage to do that. Then you also have your why. Because I can't even face myself in the mirror. And once you have your why, write it down and put it somewhere you can see it every single day. Sometimes all we need is a quick reminder of what we are doing it for. Alright, so number 6 is you can't lose weight because you don't know what's in your food. How I said earlier, become food wise. Knowing what's in your food is half the win. Learn how to read a label. To make it simple, the ingredient list always starts with the highest ingredient first. So if sugar is among the first 3, you probably should avoid it. You also have to be aware of hidden sugars. Unfortunately, it doesn't always have to be labeled as such. Coca-Cola, as an example, starts with carbonated water and then high fructose corn syrup and so on. So the second ingredient, high fructose corn syrup, is just a different word for sugar. And since it's the second on the list, it is the second highest amount. And it's not even labeled sugar. And we all know that sodas are not particularly healthy. But what about fruit juice? That's healthy, right? No, unfortunately it's not. In fact, commercial apple juice has more sugar than Coke. And now you understand why it's crucial to read food labels if you want to lose weight. What about the food when we eat out? How can we know what's in there? Unfortunately, we can't. But here's a few things to consider. When you have a takeout sandwich, for example, you might go for the healthiest choice. But often we use mayonnaise or other oils to flavor it up. And those things can quickly add up and put you over your daily calorie intake without you even noticing. That's certainly something you should be aware of. There's also a lot of other food we are not accounting for throughout the day. Usually we account for breakfast, lunch and dinner. But what about all these nibbles and snacks we eat in between? Grabbing a handful of nuts that are convenient placed on a table somewhere can add up to 400 calories, and that depends on your hand size, of course. And most of the time we don't even give it any attention or a second thought. At the moment it hits the mouth, it's already forgotten. If you want some help with the nutrition, then check out the one-day meal plan in the description below. It's an incredible resource to help you understand what you can eat in a day without being hungry and without making any crazy changes. Alright, so number 7 is you can't lose weight because you don't know how to set goals and how to break them down. Setting goals and breaking them down into small steps is crucial to achieve them. You need a clear objective, something to focus on. This is different to your why, it's your where. Let's say you want to lose an X amount of weight, but by a certain date. From here you can estimate how much you need to lose every month or week. Then you can break it down even further into daily actions you can take. Break your goals down into days and years, not weeks and months. And what I mean with that is that it took you years to get to the point where you are at today. So don't expect that it's going to change over a few weeks. Focus on the little steps you can take today to get to where you want to be in a year from now. Anything is possible in 1 year, and any action is possible for just 1 day. If you work on it consistently every single day, you will be surprised by what is possible. It's okay to start with small goals to gain the momentum, but once you have a run and tick some goals off your list, you can set bigger and bigger goals. Alright, so number 8. You hate exercising, or at least that's what you think. I don't think you hate exercising, you just hate the exercises you're doing. You haven't found what really interests you. So especially when you get started, it doesn't really matter what kind of exercises you do. Just find something you enjoy. Running is one of the best exercises you can do, and millions swear by it. There's even a thing that is called the runner's high. I never experienced that. I truly hate running. The only time I would run is if I'm chased by a herd of zombies. So don't jump on a treadmill for an hour because everyone else is doing it. And don't join a Zumba class because your friend asks you to. If you hate it, don't do it. And try different sports, try different classes or different workout types. Even if it's a regular roughhousing with your kids. That can be enough to break a sweat. And think about ways how you can be more active throughout the day. I'm sure there are some activities out there that bring you joy too. And every burnt extra calorie is a win. With that being said though, to make a real impact on your weight loss, you should do metabolic resistance training. When we go towards our 40s and beyond, we want to be as effective and time efficient as possible. So 30 minutes of high intensity resistance training with moderate weight is the perfect fat burning workout. And if you do that 3 times per week, eat the right food and become more active throughout the day, there is no reason why you can't reach your desired weight. If you want a done-for-you workout that burns fat and builds muscle at the same time, then check out the one in the description below. And the best is that it only takes you 24 minutes to do that. How good is that? So check that out. Number 9 is you can't lose weight because you're not investing in your health. You have 3 ways to invest in your health, and this is time, this is effort, and that's money. How you spend those determine your priority. If you're on a budget, money obviously might be the last thing you can invest. But what about time and effort then? If you can't afford a personal trainer or the newest fitness gadget, you have to figure things out for yourself. So you have to invest your time and you have to put some effort in. If you have the money to invest, you can save time and have someone else doing the planning for you. But you still have to put in the effort though. Just remember, you invest in yourself, in your health and in your future. And that might be wise dollars spent. We have one life, this one shot only. Make it count and inspire someone along the way. You can't lose weight because you don't know your kryptonite. Do you know your kryptonite? For me, it's candy. I won't stop before the bag is empty. There's no such thing as just one. And I'm sure you have the same problem. We all do. There's one or maybe even multiple things that you just can't resist, no matter how hard you try. You need to know what that is and avoid it at any cost. And first and foremost, don't have it in your house. Avoid the temptation. Once you get comfortable on your couch and your brain starts to relax, you get weak. That is a moment when you would reach out to the bag of potato chips, the ice cream or the cookie box. You're exhausted from the day, so the last thing you want is to use your remaining strength to resist the bag of candy. Remember, it's okay to have it sometimes, but not in your home. What is your kryptonite? Let me know in the description below. Alright, you still believe that fat is your enemy. For decades we've been told that fat is the enemy and that we should avoid it at all costs. We've been brainwashed for such a long time that it feels wrong to have anything with fat in it. But with the increase in low-fat products, we also had an increase in obesity. I actually don't know if there's a scientific relation, but it's a fact. A fact is also that fat is good for you. But it is important to get the good fats like avocados, fish and olive oil. Stop using fat-free products and go for the original version instead. It might feel wrong at times because we have to re-educate ourselves. After all, it's been decades that we believe the fat-free hype. Alright, number 12 is you can't lose weight because you don't sleep enough. Sleep is important, and that's nothing new for us, but in our 40s, 50s and 60s it becomes more important than ever. We need that extra time to recover. You want to aim for at least 7 hours per night, while people who go on restrictive diets might lose weight despite the lack of sleep. The problem though is that the majority of their weight loss comes from muscle tissue and not fat. And that is the last thing we want. In our age, we need to preserve as much muscle as possible to stay fit and healthy into higher age as well. A big sleep killer in our society is blue light from our phones, televisions and computers. Try to avoid using any devices for 1 hour before going to bed. The blue light tricks your brain to believe that it's still daytime, and therefore it has trouble to relax and prevents you from having a quality sleep. Are you making any of those mistakes we just spoke about? Or is there anything else that is holding you back? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you got some value out of this video. If so, then please make sure to hit that like button. I appreciate your feedback, and it really helps out with the channel as well. Also, share this video with anyone that might benefit from it. If you want more content like this, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because being fit doesn't have to be complicated. Do that now, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.